from all over the image. That's another kind of language. That's a drawing, a very strange overdrawing. Oh, this is very interesting, and unfortunately, we will have to hear it in the batch way. A friend of mine, living in a town not so far from mine, has put up a meteorological station that records the environment situation and sends its data into the internet. Among other devices, there is a webcam that records sounds and images outside his home. One Sunday morning, he phoned me telling me to connect to the internet and to listen to the strange sound generated, who knows how and why, by his webcam. And for over 1 hour and a half, I heard awful noises. And here I present a short excerpt. Okay, in 2000, I had made a presentation on fractal analysis, you know, a very strange kind of mathematics. This presentation was for an audience of mathematicians from the University of Novosibirsk. In that occasion, I presented also some examples of fractal music I had generated by a computer. And it has been the first and only instance when my musical files went public. And this is one of the passages I had presented. When we listen to this, you'll recognize the same musical tones of the previous file. So, someone who knows why and how had been able to take one old musical file I had generated and not even recorded. I do not have a recording of the file. I had to run again the program to get this file, and had transmitted to a webcam in a way deliberately distorted, who knows why. Amusing. Okay, now let's go rather quickly because we are short on time. In southern Chile, some people report contacts with presumed aliens who live in a secluded island, La Isla Friendship. Who knows why, in a Spanish-speaking country, an English name. Anyway, this is La Supuesta Isla Friendship. And here I presented 2 interviews to 2 among the main characters, Octavio Ortiz, a passage from an interview, okay. Ernesto de la Fuente, this is much more interesting. He is an engineer. And in this passage, he says that he went into one of their bases. He found that these aliens too like to smoke puros, that is cigars, and that they hablaban en castellano. They were speaking Spanish. It started in 1985, and it looks to be still going on. And it is a history practically identical with Amicizia. Then some persons from the Italian branch. Of course, many of these in the meantime have passed away. Here there is Alberto Perego, former Italian consul in Brazil, together with Mario Maioli, which has been the founder of the CUN, Luz Instag, which was the secretary of George Adamski. From the left to the right, Perego, Adamski, Zinstag, and, Perego, Maioli, Zinstag, and Adamski. I was also a good friend of Perego. Here is one of his dedications to Stefano Breccia, Waiting for the Future. The 4 books written by Alberto Perego have been the first books on UFOs ever printed in Italian. And more important, they are portraying, even today, the basic concepts within Amicizia. Then the journalist Bruno Ghibaudi, former president of the Italian branch of WWF, and an expert in aeronautics. Here is Ghibaudi, the gentleman on the right. Bruno Ghibaudi has written hundreds of articles about UFOs on Italian newspapers and magazines. He did not hesitate to speak about his own experiences with the W-56. This is one of his articles. Bruno Ghibaudi says, I have spoken with the pilot of flying saucers. Le Ore, January 24, 1963. The gentleman on the left is Perego, the one on the right is Ghibaudi. Alberto Perego and Bruno Ghibaudi, together with Mario Maioli, have been the forerunners of ufology in Italy. And, of course, Alberto and Bruno have both been within Amicizia. Then Professor Paolo Di Girolamo, whom Paolo Harris has interviewed last August. Di Girolamo on the right, obviously Paolo Harris on the left. My old friend Paolo has just written a book on his W-56 experiences. That is the cover. This book should be printed also in Spanish and English. The title means we and them. Another friend of mine, the painter Gaspare Delama, a very old person, he is about 19 years old. Then a university professor who does not want his name made public is writing a book of his experiences, making use of a nom de plume. The Croatian scholar Nicola Duper is acting as a spokesman of this university professor. The following image shows Duper together with Roberto Pinotti. Roberto Pinotti on the left is the secretary of the CUN. Duper is the gentleman on the right. Then, as I too was involved, here I present a picture of myself on the shores of the Baikal Lake together with Valery Bakalov, then director of the University of Novosibirsk. Okay, now there is another audio file, is Salman Chicha speaking. Okay, and this is saying these sentences. I have only you, and my wife tells me that you, my boy, are going to get tired because I'm exploiting you. But I answer, if he is here, it's because he volunteered to write a book, but my wife doesn't understand. She says that I'm dazing you. Look, I tell her, he too lived such experiences, a fragment of the whole story, and so it is not by chance that he has got here. Okay, of course I'm not able to speak Hawaiian, and I would have liked to say you goodbye using once more the words by Din Pietro. And here Din Pietro says,